Do you drive a car that has aftermarket wheels and doesn't have TPMS sensors? Do you have an RV or maybe a dually truck, or maybe you pull trailers? Simple Car Guy here, and today I have a very simple and inexpensive solution for you. Normally, I wouldn't make a video about universal TPMS sensors, but this little kit is pretty cool, especially if you want to know the tire pressure on a trailer or a car that doesn't have a built-in system. In the box, we get a manual with steps on how to install the sensors, a toolkit, the LCD display that shows tire pressure and temperature, and of course, the sensors. My kit is for 6 sensors as I wanted to test it and see if it would work on a car and my jet ski trailer at the same time. Let's see how easy it is to install. The install is super easy. All you really have to do is install this locking nut. So this will make it harder for somebody to steal the actual sensor. So you put this on, the little nut, then install the sensor, just like that. Pretty much hand tight, and then you back this nut in the back, you go counterclockwise until it hits the sensor, and then you use the little tool to lock it in place basically. There you go. So now if I want to unscrew it, it doesn't go because the nut in the back is holding it in place. Pretty cool idea, super easy to install. Now I'm just going to do the rest and then we'll see how it works. And of course it's exactly the same thing on the trailer. Obviously the pressure is going to be different on trailer tires than it would be on your car, but that's not a problem. It still will show us, you know, what we need to see. There you go. Back up the little nut and lock it in place. Done. All right, so I just got in the car and I pressed this return button and held it for 3 seconds. And now it's basically figuring out what the pressure is on all of the sensors. After a couple of minutes, it figures out all of the pressures and finds all the sensors. And then it kind of just works, right? You have this power button or back button on here. So once you power it off, when you're not using it, it just goes blank. You can then power it back on. And it comes on basically almost instantaneously, so just a few seconds. And then if you put it in the sun, you see that little sun icon lights up. And if you take it away from the sun, it shows that it's not charging. So whenever it's going to be on the dashboard, it will charge up, and then you're probably going to have enough power to use it for forever. And of course, you can also plug it into the USB port, but I don't think that would be necessary as this does not use a lot of power. So the display shows us a few things. Obviously, we have the pressure. So we have the top left and right tire. So that's going to be for the car. These two on the left is going to be the rear left and right tires on the car. And then the 3.2 and 3.2, so this side right here, that's 5 and 6, which is what I installed on the trailer. So it's pretty cool. You get to see all of them the way you want to see them. And of course, you can install them any way you want. It's just the matter of screwing them into the correct tire. But you can also actually change and reassign which tire each sensor is. So if you don't want to go and, you know, take one off and put it somewhere else, you can do that. You can just do it in here. Of course, this one is showing us bar, and I'm not very familiar with bar. I'm more familiar with PSI, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch the units. But before we do that, if you just press the set button, just like that, it goes to temperature. So we have 24 or 25 Celsius in the tires. Obviously, it's not been driven. And you press it again, and it goes back kind of to the default screen as well. Now, to get into the menu, we're gonna hold this set button, I guess settings. And then here we're going to have a few different options. We have P1, and P1 is going to be the sensor ID learn. So if you lose a sensor, or if you replace it, or whatever happens, or if you need to reset something, you can do that. Now, if you go to P2, P2 is going to be the sensor position exchange. So that's the function that I was talking about. You can change where the sensors are. So if you want to have your car sensors like let's see, 4 and 5, and then 3 and 6 is your trailer, you can do that as well, no problem. But I'm gonna go to setting number 3, or position number 3 here, and that's gonna allow us to change the tire pressure and the tire temperature alarm threshold. So that's important, that way it doesn't beep at you. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to go to P4, and that's going to change the units, right? So that way I actually know what I'm doing and I know the settings that I'm changing, because otherwise it's going to be like 1.4 bar, and I have no idea if that's, you know, if that's like 20 psi or whatever it is. Anyway, I'm going to press OK here, and now we can change the setting from bar and Celsius to psi and Fahrenheit. Easy enough. Press OK, or press the back button, I guess. Okay, now we're gonna switch again to P3, press OK. Now our high PSI is 96, that's way too high. We're gonna lower that to, I think you have to press this basically forever until it gets to the low numbers. See how high it goes? So it goes to like 180 something. All right, we're gonna go to 50. Okay, 50 psi, perfect. Gonna hit OK. Cycle to low psi, and we're gonna change that as well. Press OK. And I'm gonna set my low to, I would say about 20 psi starts to be concerning for me. Press OK. And the last thing here is the temperature, which is set to 176 Fahrenheit. I guess so. I don't really know what the settings should be, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Now, if you go back, we have a few other options. We have P5, and this is where you can switch the setting between 2-tire mode, 4-tire mode, or 6-tire mode. So whenever you're not using your trailer, you can just switch to the 4-tire mode, or you can install this on your motorcycle and just keep it in the 2-tire mode, whatever you like. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can switch those options as well. P6, I don't think that actually does anything, so we're just going to go back. And now we can actually see the proper pressure, something that I can recognize. So we have 42 and 44 psi in the front, we have 40 and 41 in the back, and the trailer's at 46 and 45 psi. Super useful, and of course you can use the 3M or the whatever adhesives included and just put it on your dash like that. It will charge in the sun. Or you can hide it in your glove box compartment or whatever you like, and it'll beep at you when you have those alarms reach the threshold. Well, I guess there's not that much more to say about this. It's pretty compact unit. It works as expected. Took me a second to figure out which button does what, but once you figure it out, it's not so hard. Basically, this is the menu, also the change button. This is back and this is okay, so easy enough. I really like that it has solar, so you don't have to worry about the battery and charging it all the time. It has real-time monitoring, so these numbers will change as the things change in the tires, right? So when you drive, it's gonna, the temperature's gonna heat up or cool down if you're getting the cold weather or something like that. It's nice to have two pressure units. You go between PSI and bar, and also between Celsius and Fahrenheit. There are 5 alarm modes, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, that anti-theft nut, that makes it so people don't just come and unscrew it from your tire, at least not easily. The pressure range seems to be between 0 and 116 psi or 8 bar. For the accuracy, it showed us the alarm of like 180, but I don't think it's actually accurate up to that pressure. Speaking of the precision for these sensors is plus or minus 1.5 psi, so pretty accurate for what it is. It's also inexpensive. There's some discounts on Amazon right now if you want to check that out. But yeah, it's great for RVs, trucks with dualies on the back, you know, trailers, or anything else that uses tires, I guess, because you don't even need power. You can just use solar. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this unit can help you figure out your TPMS issues. And if you'd like to purchase one yourself, check out the links in the description. Leave your comments if you have any. Check out this video if you'd like to learn more about this BMW 335. And I'll see you in the next one.